yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry.
It's the decade that changed the face of music forever. The 1950s saw the birth of rock and roll and doo-wop music, along with the popularization of many other genres. Here are 15 songs that define the sound of the 50s, selected based on their influence, critical recognition, and chart success.
Mona Lisa, men have named you.
Mona Lisa by Nat King Cole. Released in May of 1950, Mona Lisa is a traditional pop song that refers to the Renaissance portrait painted by Leonardo da Vinci in the 1950s. The beautifully poetic lyrics explore Mona Lisa's mystique smile, with Cole's serene vocals being a perfect fit for the song. It was written for the Paramount Pictures film Captain Carey USA and would go on to win the Oscar for Best Original Song of 1950. Mona Lisa was also one of the most commercially successful songs of the 1950s, reaching number 1 of the Billboard singles chart for 5 weeks.
Your cheating heart will make you weak.
Your Cheatin' Heart by Hank Williams. Your Cheatin' Heart is a classic country song written and recorded by Hank Williams in 1952. Released posthumously after his tragic death in January of '53, Your Cheatin' Heart chronicles Williams' tumultuous marriage with his first wife Audrey. Now considered one of the greatest country singles ever recorded, Your Cheatin' Heart was an early influential honky-tonk country song. It's synonymous with Hank Williams' pain and loneliness that he was experiencing at the time, becoming his signature song. Some country music historians would even declare that Your Cheatin' Heart defines country music itself, making it an unofficial anthem of the genre. Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and His Comets. Released in May of 1954 as an anthem for the rebellious youth of the 50s, Bill Haley and His Comets' version of Rock Around the Clock is arguably the biggest hit of the 1950s. While it wasn't the first rock and roll song ever recorded, the song brought rock and roll to the mainstream, becoming the first song of the genre to peak at number 1 of the Billboard pop charts. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the single sold at least 25 million vinyl copies, becoming second in sales only to Bing Crosby's 1942 recording of White Christmas.
Earth angel, will you be?
Earth Angel by the Penguins. Now regarded as one of doo-wop music's definitive releases, Earth Angel was not expected to be a hit. Originally released as a demo in October of 1954 as the B-side to the song Hey Senorita, the Penguins would become one of the first rhythm and blues groups to cross over into the pop charts. Selling 10 million copies upon its release, Earth Angel was initially going to be overdubbed with additional instrumentation. However, due to the vocal group's harmony and minimal instrumentation, Earth Angel was a pivotal release that helped popularize doo-wop music throughout the second half of the 50s. Tutti Frutti by Little Richard. Combining elements of gospel, blues, and boogie music, Tutti Frutti played a pivotal role in defining rock music's characteristics. Released in October of 1955, Little Richard's powerful and unique vocals combined with a distinctive rock beat, Tutti Frutti would become a template for later rock and roll songs. Reaching number 1 on Mojo's The Top 100 Records That Changed the World, Tutti Frutti would go on to be covered by Elvis Presley and the Beatles, among many others. Upon its release, Tutti Frutti would usher in a new era of popular music, with its rhythm becoming a new standard for rock beats.
Sera, whatever will be.
Sera, Sera, Whatever Will Be by Doris Day. Originally introduced in the Alfred Hitchcock film The Man Who Knew Too Much, Doris Day's version of Sera, Sera would become her signature song. While Day was already a well-established musician and actress upon its release, the song would become one of the biggest commercial hits of the 50s. Released in May of 1956, Sera, Sera would win the Academy Award for Best Original Song that same year. The song would popularize the expression Sera, Sera, a phrase that conveys cheerful fatalism. It would also become the theme song to Doris Day's sitcom, which would premiere just 12 years later.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. Coming to fruition while Johnny Cash was stationed in Germany as a member of the United States Air Force, the unique chord progression of I Walk the Line was inspired by Cash playing guitar runs on his tape recorder backwards. Recorded at the iconic Sun Records, I Walk the Line would be released in May of 1956. The original version of the song would feature a key change between each of the 5 verses. It's considered one of country music's most significant releases. I Walk the Line would rank number 1 on Rolling Stone magazine's 100 Greatest Country Songs of All Time in 2014.
Everybody in old Sera was dancing to the Jailhouse rock.
Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley. By 1957, it seemed that all eyes were on Elvis Presley as he was quickly becoming one of the most significant cultural icons of the 20th century. Jailhouse Rock was released in September of that year, along with the film of the same name just a few weeks later. Released while Presley was on top of the world, Jailhouse Rock is decidedly silly and tongue-in-cheek. Joking about gay relationships behind bars, it's a minor miracle that the song managed to fly under the radar of the censors at the time. Some of the characters Presley mentions in the song were real people, including Shifty Henry and the Purple Gang Mob. The song would go on to rank highly on various music lists, including being named one of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day.
That'll Be the Day by the Crickets. Buddy Holly was just 20 years old when he and the Crickets would record That'll Be the Day in February of 1957. Released as the Crickets' debut single in May of that same year, That'll Be the Day would also be the name of Buddy Holly's second and final studio album, released the following year. Becoming an important classic of rock and roll and rockabilly music, the song would go on to inspire later musicians such as the Quarrymen and rank number 39 on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest songs of all time. That'll Be the Day would also be certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America.
I've changed my mind. This love is fine. It's just great balls of fire.
Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis. Another hit song released in conjunction with a movie, Great Balls of Fire was released in November of 1957 and was featured in the film Jamboree. Jerry Lee Lewis's recording of the song would become his signature release, perfectly fitting considering his incendiary performance style. Interestingly, Lewis initially had to be convinced by Sun Records owner Sam Phillips to record the song, as he was shocked by the sexual innuendos in the lyrics. Lewis's energetic piano playing on Great Balls of Fire would be heavily influential for popular musicians including Elton John. The song was also a large commercial success, selling 1 million copies within 10 days of its release.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, but there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. Upon releasing Summertime Blues in July of 1958, Eddie Cochran would establish himself as a legendary rebel with a guitar. Cochran is often compared to the actor James Dean, both of whom were rebels who died in traffic accidents at a very young age. The lyrics of the song related to the youth in Cochran's day. Only 19 years old when the song was released, the song tells the story of a teenager who is frustrated that his boss continues scheduling him to work late. The teenage angst expressed in Summertime Blues would become a big influence on the image of future musicians like Joan Jett, Van Halen, and the Stray Cats. La Bamba by Richie Valens. 17-year-old Richie Valens would adapt the traditional Mexican folk song La Bamba into a rock and roll hit. In his tragically brief 8-month recording career, Valens managed to become an influential pioneer of the Spanish-speaking rock and roll movement known as Chicano rock. The song was only a modest hit upon its release in October of 1958, peaking at number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100. However, the song did have a huge impact on the Hispanic audience in the United States, inspiring acts such as Chris Montez, Trini Lopez, and Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs in the following years.
Tell me what I say, yeah. Tell me what I say right now. Tell me what I say.
What Did I Say by Ray Charles. Now regarded as one of the greatest R&B songs of all time, What Did I Say came as an improvisation at a club in December of 1958 when Ray Charles had 12 minutes to fill. Recorded in February of 1959 and released in June of that same year, What Did I Say broke Ray Charles into the mainstream along with soul music. Charles had built up this crowning achievement ever since the release of I Got a Woman 5 years earlier. The iconic call and response style of the song was inspired by the church music that Charles heard as a child. Ray Charles took this inspiration and made it into something secular and provocative, becoming one of the most influential songs in R&B and rock and roll history.
Could that someone be Mack the Knife?
Mack the Knife by Bobby Darin, originally released in 1928 for the Threepenny Opera Play with Music, Bobby Darin would rework it into a swing classic that would be released in August of 1959. Juxtaposing a light upbeat melody with murderous lyrics, Darin's version of the song creates tension throughout the 5 chromatic key changes. The song was a major success for Bobby Darin, transforming him from a teen idol into developing more of a mature adult audience. It reached number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and UK singles charts, making it one of the biggest hits of the entire decade. It would earn Darin 2 Grammy Awards for Record of the Year and Best New Artist. So What by Miles Davis, released as the opener to Davis's iconic studio album Kind of Blue in August of 1959, So What is now regarded as a modal jazz classic, bringing together legendary musicians, tenor saxophonist John Coltrane, alto saxophonist Julian Cannonball Adderley, pianist Bill Evans and Wynton Kelly, bassist Paul Chambers, and drummer Jimmy Cobb. So What and Kind of Blue as a whole set a new standard for jazz musicians. Davis gave each musician a set of scales and the creative freedom for their own individual improvisation. Not only is the album arguably the best-selling jazz record of all time, it is also regarded by many music critics as the greatest jazz record ever recorded. What did you think of the 15 songs on this list? What songs are missing that you think should have been included? Let us know in the comments section down below, and please subscribe to Nathaniel Jordan's YouTube channel if you liked what you saw. Thank you for watching the video.